Okay, so what I want to do is I really want to rank and tell you stories of every city that I went to on tour. I did this on the Tortured Muckers Department, my New York show, and it was basically the premise of the show where I went through and talked about things and kind of ranked each city. So let's kind of go through because it was a whirlwind. It started in February and ended in June, July. So there's a lot that happened. And if you were at any of the shows or whatever, let me know. I want to tell you some things. So basically what would happen would be you would fly in on the day of the show and you would do the show that night, and then you would normally leave the next day. If you're lucky, maybe you would have a couple hours of free time, or if you were incredibly lucky, you would have a day off in the city. I think I only ever had like 1 or 2 days off, and then the other times I had time off, I like paid for it myself to kind of enjoy cities. And then one day I was incredibly hungover that I had to pay for it to be extended. And there was one city in particular where I wanted to go to it so bad that I actually paid for myself to be there for a week, and I don't regret it. It was my favorite place. So let's kind of talk about it. I think tour got progressively messier and messier for me, like, on my, like, off time. The more and more I got into it because it was, like, the more and more miserable I was. And also, I just want to, like, for reference as well, unless clarified otherwise, I was traveling alone to all of these places as well. So you can imagine how isolating and kind of lonely that is as well. And so it kind of led me to the only like social time I would be like going to a bar before or after. I would go to a bar either before the show or I would go to the club after the show. So let's go through, and I have my camera roll here. So first show was Brooklyn. And this was the 18th of February. So what I have in my camera roll from Brooklyn, first of all, jitters of opening night, of course, right? No, Mark would be, but we would always have to do things separately because obviously Mark is working as well, right? So the first show, I had just moved to New York the week before. Also, I had just gotten my work visa the week before, which was incredibly stressful. I flew my mom and dad out to Brooklyn for the show. I also flew Adam Crave, Abby, out for the show. And Kat lives in New York, and basically, first leg, I paid for my family and Kat to fly around, which was incredibly expensive. And if I knew how little money I would be making on tour, I wouldn't have done that because, my God, I just fucking was broke by the time tour was, like, literally leg one was over. I'm, like, broke. So it was so good to fly her out, and I'm so glad. Per girl, though, she has, like, a fear of flying, and I didn't know that, and I booked her on a Spirit plane. Now, I've personally never flown a Spirit plane, but she was like, Adam, it was the scariest shit of my entire life, and I felt so bad, so I was so glad that she was able to arrive safely. God bless you, Abby. I love her, and it was so great to meet her, and her being there for the first show. We did the intro video, and she got to be a part of it. She, like, hands me the mic. It was super fun. So the day before opening night, I actually got, like, a face zapper massage where your face, like, look, it was like, my face is literally vibrating and, like, twitching, and it was, like, this thing, like, zapping me. I did this the day before, tour. I was like, oh my God, like, I want to be, like, so bougie with it, and if anything, it just kind of put me in pain. So that was the day before, and then, oh my God, fun fact, the entire tour was ran on a PowerPoint where it was like the lore wall. And I had created this like a month before the opening night. The day before the show, I say that I'm going to rehearse it for the first time for my family and Kat and stuff. And I link the HDMI up to my TV to basically go through the PowerPoint. And the entire thing corrupts. And the entire fucking PowerPoint deleted itself. And by the way, this was at 10 p.m. the night before opening fucking night. So basically, I spend from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. remaking the show on fucking, what was it called? The Keynote. On Keynote, I remade the entire show from 11 p.m. until 5 a.m. I went to bed at like 7 a.m. because I was so fucking stressed. And then I had to wake up at 9 a.m. So the first show, I was running on pure adrenaline, and also I'm so glad that I did that little rehearsal the night before, because if I had done that on the day of the show would have been like a podcast show or something. So that really, I would have just canceled. If I knew, I would have just canceled. So anyways, opening night was super fun. This was me and Kat when we had just arrived at the venue, so Kat came to the first leg with me. There she is. This is us in the dressing room. And then we did drink deals. I made the venues do this, where it was the Bonnie and Dolly for a vodka cranberry, or cranberry juice, Sprite lemonade, the mocktail. These names are genius, and I love them, and these were there the entire tour. Here is me rehearsing for the first time at the venue. This is literally maybe 20 minutes before the doors open, because the tour company didn't want to pay any extra time for me to be in the venue if they weren't making any money. So I didn't actually get to rehearse. So they moved it forward like an hour or two to allow me time to rehearse, because I literally begged for them to allow me to like do a run through. So obviously there were signs from the start that were, messy. And then I got to meet Adam, Crave, Abby. Here is us. And here's me. My favorite thing about all the meet and greet photos from the Brooklyn show is I'm literally red-eyed, dark-eyed, because I had no sleep, because again the PowerPoint didn't work. So here's some photos from opening night. We have me and Kat. So cute. Oh, sorry, let me put this back. We have me and Kat. We have me and all of my friends. I love this photo. Basically, everyone showed out for me on opening night. It was so great. And also, all of my friends lived in New York. That was where I was also basing myself. Here we have my entire friend group came out, which was so sweet. Who else came out? My parents were there, like I said. Also, the guy that I was seeing at the time came out as well, which is crazy that I was, like, seeing someone at the start of tour. Well, seeing someone is very loose. It's actually incredibly generous, actually. Yeah, I wouldn't say seeing someone. We were, like, flirting, I guess. So here was that group. So the one in the blue shirt was the one that I had, like, a huge crush on, and we were going out. This was our friend group. I know these people from, like, Twitter way back then. They introduced me to him, and then whenever I was in New York, we were just like, we weren't even seeing each other. We were literally just going out and we were there. But anyway, they came, they gave me like flyers. It was super sweet. I love this video that my friend sent me. It was so cold when the tour started in February, because the tour CEO actually said that they had my tour start in February because it's the time where nothing really happens and it's low anyway, because they didn't think my tour was going to sell well. So they were like, let's just throw it in February, which was really bad for the muckers, because the muckers were literally, fucking queued outside in their like winter coats. So my friends ended up sending me this video of people outside opening night, and everyone's in there like fucking like, everyone looks miserable and like freezing. So sorry that it was so fucking cold, but X1 wanted to do the tour in February because they thought it was going to flop, and nothing really happens in February. Damn, look at that queue though. X1 be calling me a flop, but look at the turnout. Look at the fucking turnout. Look at that shit. In New York City? Damn. Crazy. The show was super fun. This was it. It was like a packed house. We sold more than this, though, for my New York show in July. Look what you can do whenever you don't have evil X1 behind you. The show was so much fun. Here's a photo from it. I had a professional photographer there. It was opening night jitters. It was the first time I had ever properly done the show. The crowd were the most incredible crowd you could ever ask for. Venue was beautiful. It was just exciting that first day, even though I was so tired. My parents got to see me for the first time. There's a photo of them somewhere. I'll come across. Oh, here it is. The photographer ended up sending me this. She took a secret, sneaky little photo of my parents watching me from the balcony, and it's honestly just like the cutest, sweetest thing ever. So I was really glad that like both of them got to see that, because obviously my mom sees a lot of stuff, my dad doesn't, but that was really cute. This show was, like I said, a great success. Nicole and Jake came after the show as well, and it was great to see them. Here they are. Shout out to them. They came and supported me as well. Love Nicole and Jake. So overall, the New York show was and also Harry came. Average Harry from Fireball Friday came to the show as well. There was a huge turnout of like my friends that came to the show, and it was super sweet. There were so many gifts that night. I ended up having to put them all in my apartment, and there were so many flyers, and I ended up forgetting them in my apartment and went and did first leg, came back, and the apartment was like rotted flyers everywhere. I didn't do a Brighton show. I didn't do a Brighton show. I did a London show, but Alphaba wasn't there either. She did ask for guest list though. all love. But my guest list was completely full. I was over capacity with my guest list. New York was honestly probably, I'll give New York a 10 because I love New York. I couldn't believe I was doing a show there. The crowd were great. All my friends came out and supported. And yes, the next city was Chicago. Now, Chicago, this show that I did the next day, I'm honestly going to give Chicago a 4. This was a completely sold out show. But the reason that I'm giving it a 4 was, remember that guy I told you that I was, so we ended up going out after. Here's us after my show. What time is this at? This is at 2:15 in the morning. So I've probably now been up for at least 30 hours. But I went out because I had a huge crush and I was like, ew. So I ended up staying out at the bar club with them so late, end up get back to my apartment and I fall asleep, obviously. I wake up in the morning to emails from my mother, text messages from my mother, my phone is ringing, banging on my window, and I didn't know that I had completely forgotten to set an alarm, and my parents were outside my Airbnb throwing rocks at the windows, banging on the door, emailing me, calling me to wake me up because we were about to miss our flight if I didn't leave. So anyways, I wake up in a fucking panic, haven't packed my suitcases, have to quickly throw all this shit in. And the reason that the tour, I actually only wear white and black tank tops was because I didn't have time to pack. Fun fact. So they were fucking so angry at me, and they were even angrier whenever they found out that I did it for a man. So I was in a horrible mood the morning of the Chicago show because I was hungover as fuck. I was tired as piss, and I'd woken up in a stress. And whenever you wake me up in a stress, you're going to piss me off, even though it was my complete fault. So we got to Chicago, and here's a photo of me arriving in Chicago, hungover as fuck. Literally hungover as fuck. Here's me at the airport. Literally have never felt worse. Truly felt horrible. And then we arrived in Chicago. Oh, here's this cute photo of me and my parents at the New York show as well. Love this one. I arrived in Chicago. I actually had 2 back-to-back 5-hour energies. And so I started perking up a little bit. The airport was super. I love the airport. Why does it look like this? I'm like, damn, this is fun as hell. I actually always wanted to go to Chicago, so I was happy to be there. Checked into the hotel, and me and Kat immediately went and saw The Bean, and my parents went out to dinner, and me and Kat went to see The Bean, and then we wanted to go get deep dish pizza. We went to a deep dish pizza place, but they said it was an hour wait, so we went back to the hotel and Uber Eats one. Here's me and Kat at The Bean. So I was starting to perk up a little bit here, and then we go back to the hotel, we order deep dish pizza, and here's me with it. It was absolutely fucking disgusting. It was so fucking gross and sloppy and just, it was not good at all. And then I got a raging fucking hangover. So I actually went into I was in Kat's room. So basically X1 paid for my hotel room and then I paid for mine, Kat's, and my parents' one. So I was so fucking hungover and I felt so bad because this was the sold out show. So I ended up going into the mini fridge of Kat's hotel room and got the little bottles of Grey Goose. And I shotted one and then I put another one in a vodka Red Bull. And then I arrived at the venue and I was like, hi, muckers, who's ready for a show? So I ended up, perking myself back up again, which was great. And then here is me perked up outside where it says that the show is sold out. So let's keep remembering, clocking this, X1. These shows sold the fuck out. So here's me with my parents right before the VIP. Wait, can you see that? We're all wearing the I Heart Muckers shirts. Hello? I'm trying to figure out how to... There, so cute. Love this photo so much. I was so glad my dad was able to be there too. Damn, me and these damn hoop earrings. I didn't take this shit down once. Oh my god, and then this girl who I've been following on Instagram came to the show and I had her backstage. She makes these beautiful fucking cakes. And she made this Chronically Online Tour Chicago cake. Now, what's so crazy is I messaged her to put her on guest list on the day of the show. And I was like, hey, I just want you to come. And she was like, no, I'm going to make you a cake. And I was like, the show's in 5 hours. And she pulled this shit off. So Chicago was super fun. Like I said, it was completely sold out. And it was a beautiful venue as well. The crowd were incredible. It's so funny watching this knowing I was incredibly fucking hungover, but the only reason was because I was drinking vodka cranberries backstage. Talk about a professional. So yeah, This was the Chicago show. Super fun. So again, Kat came out during that one. Also in my camera roll, I got to meet Chloe. Chloe, I don't know if you're still here, but I got to meet Chloe, who is someone who has been like watching me for a very long time. This is Chloe when she was pregnant. Chloe has now had that child. So I like save moments from like meet and greets and stuff. This show was so much fun. Here's me and Kat after the show. We went back to the hotel and I was starting to crash a little bit. However, we were only in the cities on the day of the show, so I still wanted to see the city. So even though I was so fucking tired and Kat was so tired, we went back to the hotel. Me, Kat, my mom, and my dad eat the cake that was given to us. And then I make a promise with Kat. I'm like, can we please go to Boys Town, which is like the gay district in Chicago, because I really want to see it. Can we go if we agree to only get one drink? She ultimately caved, and we went out to Boys Town right here. Damn, I was just living so unhealthy. Like, I was just not sleeping and just drinking, and that was only the start of tour. So here's me right after the show in Boys Town, and it was dead as fuck. It was literally dead as fuck. I wasn't even drunk here. I was just fucking tired as shit. And then me and Kat went to, like, a RuPaul thing that was on the street. I don't fucking know what's going here. And then me and Kat started the tradition of going to IHOP. So me and Kat started going to IHOP after every fucking show, and we would order. This was our order in Chicago. We got pancakes, breakfast burritos, hash browns, and onion rings, and it was good as fuck. And it was so fucking good that literally, by the way, Lydia was the one that made the cake. Sorry, I forgot to say her name. Love you, Lydia. Miss Bunny Bakery on Instagram, by the way, if I remember correctly. MS Bunny BNNI. Is that correct? Bakery? I think so. If that is, let me look it up. Miss Bunny. Oh my God, it is. Yeah, Jesus. Amazing memory. So we then started going IHOP every fucking show after, and it became a tradition for us. We would go to the club, and then we would go to IHOP right after. So Chicago's getting a 4 out of 10 just because I felt so horrible the entire day, but the show was super, super, super fun, and I loved the venue. So then the next day we flew to Seattle. Now Seattle is getting a 10 out of fucking 10, and you know the reason that Seattle's getting a 10 out of 10? Because I had zero expectations. I literally had zero expectations. My mom, dad, Kat, zero expectations. The flight in was beautiful, of all like the fucking mountains and stuff. And we didn't have much time at all in Seattle. We arrived pretty late. I think we arrived at 3 p.m. and we have to be at the venue at like 5 p.m. So I really didn't get any time. However, Kat went and worked, and me and my parents went out to the like markets. I think it was called like Pike something. We went to the markets, and it was great to be able to do things with my parents. We went shopping, and I loved this shirt so much. Here we have this shirt. Like crazy. This shirt as well. We have enough gun control. What we need is idiot control. Great first impressions of Seattle. And then we went to the venue, and we got to the venue, and it was a weird as fuck venue. It literally was like a school hall. And also this venue was one that I was told by my tour manager that they weren't going to be able to sell alcohol. And I was like, well, Pike Place Market. Yeah. I said to my, tour manager, I was like, well, this will not work. Like, there needs to be a bar at the shows. Like, how can we expect people to have fun if they're, you know what I mean? Like, that's so weird. Not saying that you have to drink to have fun, but you know exactly what I mean. And then they were like, okay, so they worked with the venue to quickly get some sort of liquor license. Getting a main liquor license is actually a lot of work. So they were able to get a wine and beer one. And I was like, okay, this is going to be the worst fucking show of all time because people aren't going to want to drink wine and beer. It was such a crazy show. We ended up having to start the show so late because the muckers were lined up buying wine and beer by the bunches. And we ended up starting like an hour late so that the venue could, make the bar sales or whatever. By the time I came out on stage, everyone was so fucking wasted, wine drunk, beer drunk. And I was also drinking wine backstage. So I was wine drunk. Like my entire team backstage had been drinking wine. And it was crazy, and I have never been so free like a bird during any of the shows. I didn't realize that drinking wine instead of drinking the vodka cranberries made me an elegant little daisy on that fucking stage. So the Seattle show was super fun. I had Trish Crave backstage. Aiden, I got to meet Aiden. Cutie. Got to meet him. He was super, super, super sweet. The venue was a really interesting venue. Someone came to the meet and greet who had my first ever merch that I ever created back in 2020, which was fucking insane. And also one of the muckers was like, "Can you sign my tits?" So Seattle gets a 10 out of 10 for that. And this actually started a tradition. This happened a lot. This happened a fucking lot. Also, look at Trish Crave's fucking bag. I couldn't not take a photo of this. The fucking Trisha Paytas sticker. Crazy. So the Seattle show was super fun. I was just like prancing around that stage because I was literally wine drunk AF. It was super, super, super fun. The crowd were incredible. And then someone else also got me to sign their titties. So this really just became a tour tradition from this point on. And then during this show, this was the first show, I did an advice section at the end that me and the crowd were on such the same wavelength that I ended up like going into the crowd and like sitting on people's laps, asking people to sit up from their chairs so I can sit down in it. Like, bitch, get the fuck on stage. You know what I mean? And then me and Kat ended up going after the show directly to IHOP. We went to IHOP right after the show. So that was now 2 days in a row. And I don't think we went out this night. I think me and Kat literally, my parents got Wendy's. I see my mom's stories, her just posting Wendy's in bed. We went to IHOP instead of going out this night because I got drunk as fuck during the show, so I didn't need to go out anymore. And literally, this was the crazy fucking order that we got. Ignore my fucking finger in the way. This is me and Kat's order after the show. Chicken tenders, fries, hash browns, halloumi fries, hash browns, and she got 2 tacos. We ate so fucking much. And then the next day, we flew to LA. We flew to LA the next day. And we flew on Alaska Airlines. And let me tell you something. The bumpiest fucking flight of your entire goddamn motherfucking life. Holy shit. I thought I was gonna fucking die. They literally, like, people were, like, making noises of, like, terror on that flight. It was scary as fuck. Sorry, when the pilot says, buckle up. So that was scary as shit. That was really scary as shit. But we arrived in LA, and this was the only day that we had off in like 4 shows in a row. So we ended up going to SUR. I went to SUR, and it was super, super, super fun. I called the paparazzi on myself as well, which was in LA first. I did that for attention, and I loved it because I paid for them, and then I acted inconvenienced that they were taking photos of me outside of SUR. Obviously, I love attention, and this photo is so fucking slay. I love this photo so much. So that was fun, and I ended up at SUR was me, my mom, my dad, Kat, my friend Elizabeth, the photographer, and then my 2 managers at the time, which is so funny because they did fuck all for me, but yet I had to pay for their bar tab, so I don't like those people anymore. And then me and Kat went to a bar after, and my parents went to Tom Tom's. And then the next day was the show, and these baddies came with Adam McIntyre pre-made shirts. Now, the funniest thing is I ended up meeting these people like a year or 2 before, and they wore the same shirts. So they came to the show. I put them on guest list. They came to the show and wore the shirts. Now, LA is going to get, honestly, probably a 2 out of 10 because it was a sold-out show. However, at 8 p.m. when the show's supposed to start, my tour manager comes in and goes, hey, like 30 people haven't shown up. And I go, what? And like everyone's in the dressing room. Swoop came to the show. Lauren Gray came to the show. We had a lot of fun people backstage. But it was very weird. It was literally like 30, 40 people hadn't shown up. And they bought tickets. Like this was a sold out show. And I wasn't allowed to put any people on guest list because it was a sold out show. So I was really pissed off. So we like waited until 9 p.m. to start the show, and the people at the venue were like, let's keep postponing it to wait for these people. And maybe some of them came, but a majority of them didn't. Like 30 people by the time we started didn't come on. So 9 p.m. rolls around and the venue staff were like, let's start at 9:30. And I'm like, these people out here have literally been waiting an hour already, 2 hours actually. And if they were at VIP, probably 4 hours. Let's just start the fucking show. But yeah, 30 people didn't show up to the show. And that's why LA is getting a 2 out of fucking 10, because it was also an intimate venue that we had sold out really quickly. But when 30 people don't show up, it literally killed the fucking vibe. So fuck y'all in LA. I did love, though, that in LA, I was really concerned that Alexa Nicholas was going to come and kill me. So my manager ended up creating a sign that said "No entry, Alexa Nicholas," that was on the front door of the venue, which I find so fucking funny. LA the next day as well, the tradition of people asking for titties to be signed continued. That was a crazy tradition that started. I had a professional photographer come to the show in LA as well. I love some of these photos that she did. There's also a photo that is probably my favorite photo of the entire tour. Oh my God, here's me and Swoop. Love. I'm so grateful that Swoop came and saw the show, because, like, I don't expect anyone to, you know, come and watch the show. But Swoop came with her friends and, like, came backstage before and after the show. She, like, walked around with the Muckers, talking with the Muckers, came and sat in the seat, came back after. Like, we gave her, like, a big round of applause during the show and stuff. Like, she, like, really showed out for me, and I really am appreciative of that. So, shout out to Swoop. I really, it meant so much to me, honestly. There's a photo here that the photographer took, which is my favorite photo of tour. It's this one. I, like, love this photo so fucking much. Body is tea. Body is tea. So yeah, here's how intimate the LA show was. This is how intimate it was. It was like a small little magic lounge, which is why it sold out really quickly. But yeah, 30 of these bitches didn't show up. So 2 out of 10 for LA. Thank you to everyone who came to the show. But my God, a lot of people didn't show up to the fucking show. Also, I ended up meeting a guy and his sister who were muckers at SUR the night before, who were coming to the show. And I ended up bringing that guy on a date to see Trisha Paytas, and we met Trisha together like a month or so after. Wow, the Chronically Online tour, bringing people together. Do I have a photo of me and them? I don't know. Do I? I don't think so. Well, you'll just have to believe me. Whenever we get to Trisha, we'll talk about it, okay? So LA, 2 out of fucking 10, okay? And then we're going to go on to Dallas. Now, Dallas was one I was really fucking excited for, because I've always wanted to go to Texas. I've always wanted to go to Texas, right? So my parents have always wanted to go as well, and I've always wanted to go to Dallas specifically. I always wanted to go to Dallas. I always wanted to go to Houston. Luckily, I got to go to both of them. I really wanted a cowboy hat. So we got to Dallas, and me and Kat immediately went and got barbecue. And it was equally disgusting as... No, it was honestly just fucking disgusting. No, you know, I don't want to be a hater. The fried fucking pickles made my pussy tingle so fucking much. The fried pickles were good as fuck. This, like, sausage thing was good as fuck as well. Also, oh my God, I'm just, like, remembering... Dallas was so Texas is honestly one of the greatest places in the entire world, in my opinion, because at the barbecue places, they literally just had buckets of, like, hot fucking sauce, hot fucking barbecue sauce. Like, I could get emotional thinking about it. I honestly could get emotional thinking about it. Also, this fucking cream corn was so fucking pussy slay. And it was so fucking sloppy and good. But what I will say was it tasted more like a dessert than anything. Mac and cheese was fucking chopped as fuck. The mac and cheese was fucking chopped. It was chopped as fuck. And then this brisket was fucking terrible. It was terrible. However, this was really late at night, so we didn't have many options because we got in really late on the night before. So the day of the Dallas show... Here we have me with the marquee. This was before the show. We actually showed up to the venue, like, after Muckers. Like, Muckers were, like, queuing outside the venue, like, taking cute photos and talking with each other, which is really sweet. But we pull up to the venue, and they're all already there. And they're like, oh, my God, Adam. And I'm like, hey, guys, can you, like, move to the corner so I can take a photo with the sign? And so here's me and Kat. We ended up going to, like, a cowboy hat tailor place. And we got these... pink cowboy hats, which were so fucking expensive, by the way. And I fucking left mine at the venue. And I got this little bandana, and I loved the Dallas show so much. The Dallas Muckers were so fucking funny. I love this person who came with this shirt they made. I love NFTs. And like this is so fucking unserious. Like this is so fucking unserious. I loved that person. Also, they like then they just pull out a fur hat, like a fursuit thing, and I was like, where'd that come from? I was so shocked. I was not expecting it. Like literally just pulls it out of nowhere. And I was like, whoa. Also, another standout. Also, people kept making these like mean girl, mean kid, mean adult shirts. If you don't think that my camera was filled with photos that I took of muckers at the meet and greet, but this one was a moment. This cutie came with a shirt that read, "My dead mom is a mucker," in the sense that, and actually, yes, that is a true story. Her dead mother was actually a mucker, and I remembered her from social media. But she came up to me, and I didn't recognize her at the start, and I go, "Hey, I know that's right," and she goes, "No," and I went, "Oh." So I really didn't read the room correctly, and there's a video of us like interacting with each other, and I'm like, "Yes," and then I'm like, "Oh." So I really, took a photo of this mucker. Sometimes I would just take photos of muckers in the meet and greet, and I'd be like, you look like Slay. Love. Who else do we have here? Oh, love this mucker as well. Like I literally would just be all pose. I'm taking a photo of you. Loved. Also cute. Wow, I took a lot of photos of the fucking muckers during the VIP. Goodness me. Here's me backstage, Dallas. I was shaking pussy. This venue was so weird though because I don't have a big audience in Dallas, but X1 booked me in a cheap ass theater that was like a 500, 600 capacity, and I'd only sold like 100, 200 tickets, so it was empty AF. But the show was so much fun. The audience really made up for it. I ended up meeting one of my Twitter oomphies, Nolan, who I love. Met Oomphy. This was at the meet and greet after. Also, like, clearly I was just taking photos of every fucking mucker under the sun. Loved this mucker at the meet and greet. Literally the greatest people of all time. Here's us together. Like, bodies. Wow, I was taking photos of everyone. Here's another mean girl, mean kid, mean adult. They took this with their mom had one as well. And then here was me after the show with the marquee. I got them to keep it on so I could take a photo with it. And then I love this photo. It sucks that it says X1 Entertainment, though I will be photoshopping that out and then framing the photo. Someone made me a custom Sally shirt of the bearded dragon that I love, which was so thoughtful. And also incredibly thoughtful, someone made me a Milo jumper where he has a little pink hat on. Are you kidding me? Like, everyone was so thoughtful. I love this photo of my Uber ride home. I love that. And then after the show, me and my Twitter oomphy ended up going out clubbing. Or we went to the bar. So he's the one from the meet and greet. Actually, we went to... People, what's the Dallas gayborhood called? Or is it like gayborhood, or is it like... What's it called? Anyone know? It's not Broadway. I think that's Nashville. I got photo cards of like every show, yeah. Houston. No. Okay. Anyways, in Dallas, there is like a strip of clubs and bars. And me, my tour manager, Mark, Kat, Nolan, my Twitter oomphy, ended up all going to these bars. And actually, we went into the first bar, and this guy, he, like, our first impression of Dallas nightlife, he literally comes up, grabs Kat, and starts grinding on her. And literally, me and Mark have to literally, like, smack the shit out of him. So, not a great kickoff to the Dallas nightlife, I'm going to be honest. That really pissed us all the fuck off. And me and Mark had to get him sorted. And then obviously we left that place immediately. It was like not good. We went across the road to this place that was kind of like half bar, half club. It had like this huge open dance floor that people were like square dancing in. And then there was like, it was kind of like clubby. It was bar-y upstairs. We went there and it was super fucking fun. So we went out until literally, oh my God, also here's this really cute photo of me and my mom. She loved her cowboy hat at the Dallas show. I think if I'm being completely honest, I think leg one was so successful because my parents were there and X1 knew that my parents were there. But once leg two, once it was just me on my own, then they started mistreating me like fuck. So leg one, let's enjoy the nice stories while we have them. Because my parents were there, I think X1 were on their best fucking behavior. And also because the shows were selling out, they were on their best behavior. And then leg two, it all goes down the shitter. So let's enjoy the beautiful stories for the moment, okay? So anyways, we went out. Oh, also love this image of me on stage in Dallas. Slay. So anyways, we go to this other bar. They're closing and they literally have to like confiscate our drinks off of us because we got a drink at last order and like they were like, we need you to leave. So my tour manager is like, I know an afters. And I was like, what? And Mark was like, I've been talking to this security guard. He's given me an address of an afters. And we were like, okay. So we say goodbye to Nolan. He had to drive back to like Louisiana. Me, Mark, and Kat get in an Uber, and Mark takes us to this address that this security gave Mark. Now, in theory, we should have known that the security guard was literally just giving like a random address to like get us to fuck off. So we arrive in like a dead end industrial park. No lights, no buildings, no people. We just get out. And the guy had told us at the door of the club that once you get off this location, look for a traffic cone behind a tree. And then the door should be there. Knock 4 times and they'll let you in. And somehow in all of our drunk states, we thought that this was like made a lot of sense. So we go, we find the traffic cone and we're like banging on the door and nothing happens. And we're like, huh. We all start to kind of sense that we're going to get killed. So we like leave and we like walk through this next thing. And then it's like, wee, wee, wee. You are being recorded. You are being recorded. Exit the property. Wee, wee. And we're all like, we'd entered illegal property. We had ended up, I think, going to like some like illegal drug rave. And the police were there. And they were like, oh my God, they're also going to the drug rave. So they were like, leave immediately. And we're like, so we ended up being like, fuck. Our only option for a fucking place. Yes, I'm reading chat. Don't worry. So anyways, after we almost get into a fucking drug raid, we're like, let's go to IHOP instead. So we go to IHOP, and this was the most psychotic night of my entire life. So we go to IHOP. It's me, Mark, and Kat. We sit in a little booth, and there's like maybe like 4 other tables there. Now lock in for this story, okay? So anyways, we're sitting, and we're having a good time, and I wonder if I have any photos from IHOP before I get into this deranged story. This is the ISIS story, if anyone remembers. No, I literally have no fucking evidence that this happened. Beautiful. So anyways, we sit down in this table, we're talking for a bit, we're waiting for our food, and for some reason, I turn to Kat and I'm like, tell Mark about your coming out story. I have no idea why I said that. I don't know. I was just like, let's do a bonding moment here. So Kat starts telling Mark about her coming out story, and albeit, can be quite sad at times. So Mark is listening, and we're deep in this story, and I'm like, this is so beautiful. I'm holding her hand and, whatever. And then this guy who was at like a table behind by himself comes over and goes, sorry, I couldn't help but notice because all of you speak so fucking loud that this story was really beautiful about Kat's coming out story. And so we're all like, okay, creepy little man. He had a very weird aura about him. So anyways, he goes, can I join you guys? Them 2 motherfuckers sit in silence. And I go, I mean, we're having a conversation, and he goes, okay, I'll join. He sits down and then goes, wait, I'm going to bring my food. He brings his food over, chicken tenders and fries, delicious choice, by the way. And he starts telling us about his bisexual journey and him discovering if he is straight, bi, questioning whatever. Us, we don't give a fuck. Like, who the fuck are you? So then he starts like trauma dumping on us about his sexuality and stuff like this. Anyways, the story progresses. He ends up getting really, really, really weird towards Mark and is like, so would you sleep with me? Would you fuck me? And we're all like, oh my God. And he's like, there's only one way I can find it out. And we're all like, now, at this time, we start to notice that IHOP is dead as fuck. Like, it's empty as hell now. Like, everyone has literally fucking left. So he's being weird as fuck to Mark. We're intersecting it. And then he turns to me and Kat, looking at me mainly, and goes, what about you then? Sorry, me being second choice? Fuck you. Me being second choice by this creepy man that I don't even want? I'm heartbroken. And I go, no, me and her are dating. About Kat. And he goes, threesomes. Puts his hand on Mark and goes, or a foursome. Who are you? Who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? So anyways, he ends up, for some reason, getting on the topic of his job. He gets on the topic of his job, and he's like, I work in the highest job of all time, but I can't tell you what it is. I work with the biggest people in the entire world, but I can't tell you what it is. By the way, he is literally just speaking now, and we're all just like sitting in silence, still eating our food, by the way, just waiting for him to leave. Like, if he continues talking, then great. You'll get it out of his system and leave. He's like, I work for the government. I work for this. Like, he literally is saying all this shit. And we're like, okay, who do you work for? Like, what is the name? Whatever. He's like, I can't tell you. It's too confidential. I work for the biggest, most protected people in the entire... And we're like, okay. And then it gets to the stage where we're like, we don't care if you don't tell us, right? And then out of some fucking... The worst thing that could have happened to us, the IHOP waitress comes over and recognizes me. Love her, but it did not help the situation because we had been spending all night lying to this man about why we were actually in town and our actual reasons for being there, that this didn't help our narrative because this man now knew that we were lying to him, which he got very aggressive over. So this diva was like, oh my God, Adam, like I'm a mucker, whatever, like this. And I remember turning and being like, why weren't you at the show tonight? And she was like, you had a show tonight? And I went, mucker. So anyways, she sits down mid-shift and is now talking to us. She's talking to me about the show and stuff. And he's like, so why are you here? Why are you here? He ends up getting it out that I did a show there. Mark's the tour manager and Kat's a journalist. So then he starts getting so fucking aggressive towards all of us that we were lying. We were hiding our cover, all like this shit. But then he's relating it back to that he works with the biggest people in the government, that he can take us all out. And we're like, so... He literally threatens us that we were lying to him, and if we lie again, he's going to take us out. But then, in the next breath, he goes, I'm staying at the hostel next door if you all actually do want to fuck. Like, the most, like, bipolar fucking person of all time. And while we're shutting it down, he then turns to Mark and is trying on Mark, and we're like, dude, just honestly stop. Like, leave it alone. He will not leave. That I remember he's mid-talking, and he's, like, ranting and stuff like this about his job, and I literally look him dead in the eyes, and I go, are you going to eat that food? I'd already finished my plate. Kat had finished hers. Mark finished playing with his. I literally was like, are you going to eat that food? And he was like, no. And I was like, can I just have it? Like, if you're still going to be, like, can I have it? And I literally started eating his fucking chicken tenders and fries. And it did make the experience more enjoyable. And I cleared that fucking plate too. Don't you fucking worry. So anyways, after we don't want to sleep with him again, he literally starts telling us that he works and has connections with ISIS. And we're literally just like, you're the craziest person. Like, we're literally not even reacting anymore. And he goes, so what? You're going to your next city next? I'm going to have ISIS shit down the plane. That show won't happen because you lied to me and my connections at ISIS are going to kill all three of you in the morning. Then he starts getting really specific about the time and stuff. And we're like, oh my God, Kat just texted me. Oh, I thought she was watching the stream. So he then he literally is just doubling down that ISIS is going to kill us. And I think I ordered the Uber secretly, and then by the time it arrived, I was like, guys, let's like immediately leave or whatever. We're walking out, and he was like, oh, guys, you won't see tomorrow. Guys, you won't see tomorrow. And by the way, I've told this story on Patreon. I've told this on stage. This story like literally doesn't change. This unfortunately did happen to us after the Dallas show. Now, the Dallas experience was still 10 out of 10 though. I'm not going to allow ISIS man to lower the rating of Dallas because y'all don't deserve that. But really fucking crazy. You remember the story? Yeah, really fucking crazy. Like crazy as fucking shit. Did you contact the cops? No, we just went home. But it was a great story. Great little story, you know what I mean? Dallas was fun as fuck. Oh, my mom's here. Hi, Mom. My mom said Dallas is one of my favorite cities. Wait, Mom, let me VIP you so you don't have to pay for a subscription. Never ending midnight sun. Where the fuck is my chat? Hello? How do I do this? VIP Sinead McIntyre. Oh, did I do it? Yay, added you as a VIP, mom. So anyways, yeah, he like threatened ISIS on us. Chop, 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 whatever. So the next day, oh wait, we were done after Dallas. We were done after Dallas, which was so great. So we went back to New York, and my parents went home. Oh, here's a photo of me and my parents at SUR that night I was telling you about. Here's us. Cute. My dad looking stern and unimpressed as always. Gorgeous. SUR gave us the VIP room. They gave us the VIP room, and I was like, I will do like Instagram like stories and posts in return. But whenever I got there, they were like trying to get me to do so many Instagram reels and TikToks, and it was not a vibe, if I'm being completely honest. She can't VIP and mod at the same time. Oh, well, what now? So anyway, after Dallas, went back to New York. So far we've got Brooklyn 10, Chicago 4, Seattle 10, Los Angeles 2, Dallas 10, London. So we were originally going to do 2 shows in Europe, London and Dublin. We ended up canceling the Dublin show because literally no one bought tickets. So shout out to my Irish baddies for the lovely homecoming show. So anyways, let me go to London. It was the 9th of March. London is getting a 0 out of fucking 10. It was the worst fucking experience and show of my entire life. Remember I told you that X1 were super nice to me leg 1 when my parents were there, and then when my parents like weren't there anymore, they just started getting super fucking evil? So there was a lot of issues with London. Number 1, it was a church. It was an actual fucking church. And I had visited this church a couple months before I had done the show. And I asked the people that worked there, where's the projector? And they said, there isn't a projector. This is a church. Great point. Of course. That makes total fucking sense. So anyways, I know. So anyways, I told the tour CEO, hey, I went to the venue, there's no projector. He said, yeah, man, that's good. Him fucking chewing his dumbass fucking chewing gum every fucking call I do with him. Fucking never taking me seriously. He's like, oh, that's no problem. Like, we'll make sure to get one or whatever. Perfect. We're going to get the projector. The entire show is projector based. So me and Mark fly internationally from New York to LA, or from New York to London to do the show. Pay for my own fucking travel, by the way. And still get charged for fucking travel, even though I paid for my own fucking shit. And so we arrive in London at like 9 p.m. the day before the show. And for some reason I say to Mark, what's the projector size for tomorrow? Because normally I would see the projector in advance. And Mark was like, I don't think there is a projector. And I went, huh? Literally at customs at the airport. I'm like, huh? Is Holly here? Holly, are you watching? Mark was like, there's no projector. I don't think, I was going to say the CEO's name. The CEO said there isn't going to be one. And I went, what? So I'm at the airport, freaking the fuck out. No, we're going to do Tana after this. Don't worry. That's also by X1 though. So Mark goes through his email history with with the tour CEO and the venue. And literally, the tour CEO had said, we don't need a projector because it's going to cut into the budget. The budget. So they're now cheapening out on getting a fucking projector to maximize profits, which is so funny because do you want to know how much money I made during that show? I wonder if I literally even have my settlement to show you. Hold on. Let me see. And never ending. I wonder if I actually have my settlement. Where would it be? Who sent it to me? Let me see if I can find my settlement to show you. No, that's ticket reports. Sorry, this will be good as fuck. You'll enjoy this. Just need to find it, though. We're up to London right now. Damn, I would have loved to have been able to show you this. But anyway, I mean, or wait, hold on. I think I actually can get it. Should be in my payouts. Oh, here it is. Tour settlement. Do you want to know how much money I made for London? Let me show you this shit. Sorry, and this was also standard for second leg as well. London. Here we go. Do you want to see something crazy? So I flew internationally for this show. Okay? I was like hundreds, if not thousands, making my way to this show. Here you go. Let me just show you this. Expenses for London. Total revenue for London, $6,814. They booked a church that was $7,125. What? How incompetent are you? So, total expenses, $11,594. Net revenue, minus $4,000. Artist take home, $0. $0. I was making $0 this entire tour. Here, you're seeing it. I made $0 every fucking show. Artist take home $0 is so funny. So anyways, back to London. So there's no fucking projector. And the tour CEO didn't book one. So, oh my God, fuck off. So I literally get on the flight. Please. Oh my God, fuck off. Ah, why is it following me? Ha ha, just killed you, motherfucker. Ha ha. Got your ass. Don't piss me off. So, as I told you, things start going down the fucking drain. And the reason London's 0 out of 10, all these things, right? So, I'm calling the CEO the night before the show, and I'm like, what the fuck? I'm gonna cancel this show. How dare you set me up? Like, I'm being so fucking, I'm so fucking angry. I'm like, everyone who's coming to the show tomorrow is not going to be able to see the show because it's all projector based. So they're being exploited and not being provided what X1 are promising. Fuck you. You've now put me in a bad position. I'm so angry. I'm on the phone to my manager who's she's drunk at a wedding because she wasn't supposed to be working. And I'm like, Helen, I'm so fucking angry. Like, I'm gonna fucking cancel this show. Like, if they think that they can fucking piss me around and piss my fucking followers around, like, they've already exploited the shit out of them. I'm making $0 fucking this show. They have these people paying $150 and they can't even get a fucking projector. So I'm like screaming as fuck. I'm like screaming as shit at fucking everyone. Mark is like scared of me. I'm like literally in the fucking Uber to the hotel hours before the show is going to begin, and I'm fucking shouting at everyone. I'm like, how dare you charge my audience $150 and you can't even promise to provide them the fucking show? How fucking dare you? So this is the first time I ever fucking snapped on them the night before the show. And Mark was like, Adam, don't pull the plug on the show. Adam, please don't pull the plug. Like, I was literally like, if you guys do not get me a projector, I'm going to cancel the show right now because how dare you expect my audience to come and I have to go out on stage and say, sorry guys, there's not a projector. You're not going to get the show. Fuck you. Fuck you. So anyways, Mark is like, Adam, leave it with me. Don't be doing any, crash decisions. So this is when things started taking a fucking detour on the tour. The more angry and fucking stressed and whatever that X1 would make me, bitch, I would literally just fucking go to the hotel bar and like start a tab and literally just get like so many fucking drinks and stay up all night because I, from this point on, was dealing with so many issues that I literally would just fucking spend my entire free time at the bar because I was fucking miserable. And by the way, this is only March and we went on until July. So as you can tell, things aren't going great. So I wake up the next day and Mark, God bless you, Mark, has managed to get a fucking rental projector. Mark, I love you beyond fucking words. So, thank God, there's now going to be a projector and the show can happen. Yippee! So, the problem with that, yes, is I was charged $3,000 for it. So, you know whenever it said artist take home $0, that was before I got charged for like $2,000, $3,000 of projector. So as you're seeing here, X1 are actually saying that I'm putting them in debt because of this show because they're fucking incompetent as piss. So anyways, the London show, oh shit, I lost my place. Hold on, let me go back. What an incompetent fucking company. So anyways, let's go to March and the fucking show. Oh my God, my literally screenshots are just me fucking like scream crying. So, where's London? London. Okay, perfect. Here we're at London. So we end up getting the projector. Actually, the day before the London show, my friend Aoife from home, I paid for her to come to the London show so she could get to experience it. Love her. I went to Japan with her as well. So I check her into the same hotel that me and Mark were staying at, and obviously I had to pay for all that my fucking self. And Aoife checks into her hotel room, and I feel so bad for her. She literally checks in, and I'm obviously at the hotel bar, and Mark joins me at the bar, and we're both about to go. All right, Mark's gonna go do, you know, his thing, and I'm gonna go do my thing, whatever. So I was gonna go meet some friends, and Aoife calls me, and is like, Adam, there's a fucking mouse in my room. And I'm like, girl, are you serious? Literally 5 minutes after she checks into the hotel. So at 11 p.m., she's like, you and Mark need, or she goes, you need to come up. And I'm like, I'm with Mark. And she's like, well, both you and Mark need to come up then. And I love this fucking video so much. It's of me and Mark coming up to Aoife's room.
Come in.
It's not working. Okay, Aoife, this is Mark, her manager.
Hi, Mom.
Wait, the door's open.
Yeah, because that's where...
Oh my God, then what? Is it like here?
I don't know.
We came to inspect.
Why is the door open? Okay, girl, I thought you were gonna have it locked up.
Why would I have it locked up?
So I literally walk in the room and she has the bathroom door, which she said the fucking mouse was in, wide open. And I'm like, girl, what the fuck? But my favorite thing about this, also, I kept texting her this image for the rest of the day. My favorite thing about this was, she was like, I need to get a new hotel room. And I was like, yeah, I agree. And I was like, Mark, can we get you back on the clock and call downstairs? And Mark was like, sure. Mark, being the most American fucking motherfucker of all time, in London, picks up reception. Mark a little bit tipsy, me tipsy as well. Mark's like talking about the mice in the room. This is literally how Mark does the call, and if Aoife was here, she would back me up. Mark picks up the call and goes, reception? And they go, yeah. And Mark goes, girl, there are rats, mouse, roaches. There is, and we're like, and the reception are like, what? And Mark's like, yeah, girl, roaches in this room. There are roaches in this room, girl. And we're like, Mark, stop your... So anyways, after this call, the hotel are like, oh my God, we're going to send in a full extermination, but they have to provide it first. And then after the call, Mark goes, okay, girls, I'm going to head out. So Mark has now just literally hold on. I wonder if Aoife would pick up the phone and like confirm, just so you know that I'm not lying. We were like, Mark, you just fucking, like, you've now set Aoife up. And then me and Mark went out to the club and left Aoife with it. And she was like, the security came up and they were like, girl, where's the roaches? Let me see if Aoife will answer. Girl, there are roaches. Oh, I need her to answer so bad. I think I could get her to answer. Let me text her. Please answer. I need her to confirm the story. I said, please answer. I'm on stream.
Can't take your call right now.
Ugh, girl, please. Anyways, yeah, Mark was like, girl, roaches in this room. And literally they're downstairs like, huh? Huh? There were not roaches in the room. And I also struggle to believe that there was actually a fucking mouse in the room as well. So the next day was I actually don't know where I went out that night. Did I go? Oh, I went out with my cousin Neve. I went out with my cousin Neve, and it was great to see her. The next day was the London show. And obviously it was in a fucking church. My friend Suha was there, Aoife was there, and it was, you know, trying to make the most of a bad situation. So here was the rental projector that Mark managed to get. Thank God. It was genuinely a church, by the way. What a fucking piss take. This was actually the fucking venue. Look at those pillar churches. Wait. Fucking piss take. Literally piss take. So, this was the VIPs for the London show. Kitties. And you're literally seeing the churchness in the background as well. Literally a church. Now, the London show was so interesting. Oh my God, here's me and my cousin Neve. And also, I was really happy that my friends got to come see the show because obviously at this time I wasn't telling people how badly I was being treated by X1, so people were excited for me being on tour. Here's me and Holly. I love this photo so much. Cutie, baddie AF. Me and my friend Christian backstage. Really, really, really cute photos. Me and Neve as well. Love, 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 love. I actually don't know where all my other photos are. Oh, here's me and Aoife. Suha, I don't know where our photo is. Love, 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 love. Where we go? Me, Suha, and Aoife. Love, 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 love. So anyway, I had everyone backstage. All my Brighton friends as well came out and supported me. Jesus, there were more of my friends than fucking like muckers in the crowd. Look how cute this is. Why am I giving like James Charles bloody or whatever it's called here? I'm giving a fucking something fucking crazy. So anyways, the London show was really interesting. Obviously I knew that this was the first show that I was making $0. So I was like, and also I had just spent the entire night like scream fucking sobbing at every person around me. So I was not in a good mood the day of the show. Now it's important to note as well that Lexi came to the show as well, which was super fun. Lexi and Harry were both supposed to come, but Harry pulled out last minute. So Lexi came and we did shots on stage. Actually, these are shots of apple juice. I refused to do Fireball. So Mark got us apple juice, which was so much fun. Yeah, I was not for drinking. And also, it's just so crazy seeing the like intro video playing and like knowing that it's a church, like being like, should we do a little key? Should we do a little line 365 girl party? Like literally in a fucking church. So the London show again was really interesting. All my friends were backstage drinking before the show, and I ended up cueing I Love You Jesus because it was a church, the song that played before I came out, and the venue staff loved it, and I think it gave them like the church did have a bar, yeah. It's funny how they can waiver their rules in some things, right? So I Love You Jesus played before I came out, and obviously it sounded gorgeous in a church, very unserious. The venue staff loved it. I came out on stage, and I did the show. I brought people on stage. Because my friends were in the crowd, I was a little bit more messy than normal. And then after the show, I do the meet and greet, and then during the meet and greet, one of the workers, security or manager or something, pulls me and Mark aside and starts screaming, "Oh my God, Holly!" Starts screaming at Mark, and then another one pulls me aside, and meanwhile I'm literally in the middle of doing the meet and greet, and they're screaming at me for how fucking embarrassing I am, how disrespectful I am, that I would do my show in a church, that I would swear in a church, literally screaming at me, disrespectful, I need to know when to like respect people, and I need to respect where I am, and starts fucking talking about Jesus to me, like preaching how inappropriate it was that during my show there were fucking like lesbians on stage, like how inappropriate the nature of it was, talking about hookup culture on stage. And I'm like, bitch, I don't even fucking want to be here. I'm making $0 fucking dollars. What do you think I want to be doing this show in a fucking church where I can hear a fucking echo? Fuck you. So X1 fucked me the fuck up there, and then I complained to the company, and I was like, okay, well, I just made $0 doing this, traveled internationally, and I got shouted at the end, and they literally didn't give a fuck. They didn't give a fuck. So London is getting a 0 out of 10. Chopped, worst experience of my life. I did end up going out clubbing with me, Mark, and my friends after the show. We went to Heaven, and that was fun. It was a Sunday, but the clubs were open. But it was a fucking horrible fucking experience. It was bad as fuck. Okay, really quickly, I'm gonna go and pee, but I will be right back. Also, these aren't my underwear. They are just short shorts. But they're kind of tea though, right? Tea. All right, I will be right back, okay? Cardboard Adamite. Yes, of course. Okay, so then we go on to second leg, and this was literally the fucking bane of my life. So this started the 22nd of April. Let me go to this in my camera roll. Also, I love this photo of Mark wearing an oh wait, my flash is on. I love this photo of Mark wearing an I Heart Muckers top. Damn, Mark really did play along. Love Mark so much. Oh my god, this cuties at the London show. Again, the best part about the shows, even though like I was being mistreated and you guys were being mistreated and exploited and all the rest, was that like just like seeing people be happy at the shows. These divas, this guy came from Paris, and I was like live following his post. He came from Paris for the show. Someone else came from a different country as well. I'm trying to remember, but like there were a lot of international baddies at the show. Mark Chic. So this show was obviously a fucking disaster, and just a lot of fucking arguments, and it wasn't great at all. But let's go to the 22nd of August or April. So then second leg started a month after that, and like I said, around second leg was whenever, before I announced the shows, Mucker started asking why there were huge fees to the ticket company or to the ticket prices. Like you would pay like $150 for a VIP, which is crazy because I saw fucking none of that. And then you would have to pay like a $30, $40 fee. Obviously, you know, there's fees involved in all this stuff, like $2 to $3, maybe even $10. But like, where's all this money going? I never got that answer. I started having fights with the tour CEO over where this money was being distributed and why my audience were being upcharged all this money, and I never got any answers, and if anything, they just said I was bullying them. So then Muckers started kind of saying that they wouldn't buy tickets until these were removed. So then no one bought tickets for leg 2, and honestly, X1 were getting pissy at me for like they wanted me to clarify to you guys that like I was getting the money, which is not true. They just wanted me to lie. But obviously I didn't do that. And whenever Muckers would be like, these tickets are like, why is there fees? This is too expensive. I'd be like, yeah, I agree. Don't buy them. Like, honestly, like, whatever. I'm not seeing it. So second leg was obviously chopped AF because none of the Muckers wanted to come, which honestly, fair enough. Now, in the middle of London to Nashville, I did go to Japan with my brother, which was so much fun. I went to Japan. I met a bunch of very hot men, went out clubbing, saw Japanese culture, met some monkeys at the monkey park. It was so much fun. Yeah, me and my brother here's a photo to prove I was in Japan with my ramen. Me and my brother had a really great debrief, and it was much needed. And I came back in for second leg knowing it was going to be a disaster, but with good spirits. Clubbing in Japan's so much fucking fun, no shade. Also, Kat came to Japan as well. I love how we just like find each other like anywhere we go in the world. Kat came to Japan. I think I'm going to go to Japan in January. I don't think I'm going to travel for the rest of the year because I want to, when the dogs come next week, I want to like just chill with the dogs until the end of the year. But I think I'd probably go to Japan in January again because I love Japan. So anyways, let's go to second leg. Oh, and then I was having so many fights with the tour company like every single fucking day that I ended up having a huge mental breakdown and dyed my hair red. If anyone wants to know why I dyed my hair red, it was because I was going through an insane fucking crisis. And what better way to dye my hair red than right before second leg? What a choice. I actually really still liked it. So, oh my god, remember that guy I told you that I met at the meet and greet, and then I think we went to like a bar a couple times or whatever. This was us. We went to see Trisha together. Peter, really sweet guy. Where are the photos of us with Trisha? I think I met Trisha before second leg. Hold on. Well, you've all seen the photos. I went to Trisha's show with Peter. Super fun. The red hair was serving. Well, it was a decision. I'll definitely say it was a decision. I also had to like re-diet every fucking day as well. So like, okay, so now we make it to second leg. So Nashville, let me think back on Nashville. Nashville, we got in super early, and I immediately went to Broadway. I went to Broadway, and what did I do? Oh, I went for like a brunch. What time was this at? This is at 2 p.m. I went and ate this with some margaritas. I just went by myself because obviously you do tour alone. I did some shopping. It was fun AF. I went and saw some live music. I was roaming Broadway. I went to a moonshine distillery and got a huge apple pie moonshine, and I drank this before the show. So you're going to start seeing a pattern here. Here is me with my cocktails like an hour before I have to be at the venue. And then I ended up getting ready, and this was my fit for the Nashville show. I look so fucking tired and haggard here. I remember crying the night before this, so I am not looking the greatest. I would literally just cry the night before shows when there would be arguments. Then we went, and it was a city winery. I'd never been to a city winery before. It was a nice little venue. Here's me at the meet and greet. I'd actually pulled an all-nighter this night as well because I was crying the night before, and if I went to bed, I would have fallen asleep. So I don't look too bad for an all-nighter, if I'm being completely honest. The venue were super sweet. This is actually the only venue that like left food for me, but I was too stressed to eat. But it was a great in theory. The venue was City Winery, like I said, and it was a nice little venue. The Muckers showed up for that one. Actually, that was a pretty good one. Here's a little clip from this show. Wait.
Hi, Muckers. I'm currently in fucking Nashville.
Okay. So then after the show, this is me in my little ensemble. Okay. And then what happened after the show? Oh, after the show, I was so fucking tired.
Okay, the show is over. It was so much fun. I'm so exhausted. I'm just sitting in the dressing room right now. I'm fully tired. It's so crazy. Before I went on, I was like, oh my god, this show is like our show that's like not selling. And then I went on stage, and it was like almost sold out. And I was
That's not true. I just put people on guest list. Lol. Oh, I got to meet Oscar Crave. Kitty. He came with his sister. Kitties. I literally met every fucking Crave on this goddamn fucking tour. I met Adam Crave, Trish Crave, Oscar Crave. So Nashville, I'll give Nashville like a 5 out of 10. There was nothing special about that experience for me, and I was not in a good mood because of the arguments that I had been having the day before. But then we go on to Philadelphia. Now, Philly had been a place that I went once before. I went to a Mariah Carey concert with my friend Kat. Philly, let me see. I don't really remember Philly. Oh, Philly was incredible for the reason that whenever I had been DMing with this shop that sold Labubus, and they said they were going to keep 2 for me. They upcharged me like crazy, but I walked into the shop and they had them ready for me. So I got to buy my first Labubus, which I loved. Me on stage, you don't remember. Hold on, wait 1 second. I can hear my doorbell going. 1 second. Let me. Oh wait, no, I don't. Sorry, it's my next door neighbor. It's my next door neighbor's one. God, it's hot as fuck in this room. So they kept the Labubis for me, and I love these one. I love that one with the little dress. I also bought Mark one, and Mark was like, this shit is ugly AF. I did some sightseeing in Philly, and it was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful day. I ended up going to the Ritz-Carlton for brunch. Here's me with my Labubu and my fake Chanel bag that I bought in Canal Street in New York for like $20. This was the food I got. I got little, is it called empanadas? They were good as fuck. Or chili cheesesteak, like empanadas or whatever, fries. I ate that shit like crazy. I got a bunch of mimosas, and I was in a great mood for the Philly show, as you can imagine. Now, the Philly show, this was the venue. Now, X1 got this venue right. So, you know the way they fucked up with London? They got Philly right. It was like a music venue, and it's used for people who are doing like music tours. So it had great sound acoustics and all the rest, and the show, the Muckers really showed out. Do I have any I think I have a clip from, the crowd.
Okay, we have just finished the show.
Oh, that's me, like, after the show. Hold on. Maybe this one?
Okay, I'm in Philly right now, but I just want to. Sorry, we're getting a bit. We're looking at the cardboard cutout.
So, Philly was fun. And then here is me after the Philly show. I actually like this photo. I think this is a cute photo. Philly was... What other things? Oh, someone brought the photos of me and Trisha to the meet and greet. And what else? Oh, I loved this guy's top. I'm pretty sure he was someone's boyfriend as well. The shirt says, gay, dumb, stupid, ugly, fat, all crossed out. And then it says Divine Mucker, quoting the Jody Hildebrandt, I am not gay. I am not dumb. I am not stupid. I am not fat. Love that. Also, loved this diva with the mean girl, mean kid, mean adult shirt. Gorgeous as fuck. What else do we have? I think that was pretty much it. And then Philly, I ended up going out after. However, everywhere was super dead in Philly. The only enjoyment I got was this woman who was at this piano jazz bar just roaming the ground. She was just like rolling around and like twirling and stuff. There really wasn't much going on in Philly at nighttime. So Philly nightlife was boring. However, I am going to give Philly maybe like a 9 out of 10. It's losing a point because the nightlife sucked. However, it was the most fun show I ever did. The crowd were great. The bar was right beside the stage. So I would literally like get off the stage midway through the show and go and buy a drink. The crowd were super drunk because the bar was right there. It was the first show that I actually went over by like an hour or 2 hours. The show normally is supposed to be an hour. The show in Philly was 3 fucking hours long, and I literally just lost track of time because the crowd and the venue staff were playing along with me. Like the sound people loved me. The venue. The one thing I did experience on tour was that the venues would like follow me on Instagram or they would really like me. So it ended up being like a 3-hour show, which I like never did again because obviously that's incredibly deranged. So Philly's gonna get a 9 out of 10. Then we go on to Washington, D.C. Also, I was bringing, muckers up on stage in Philly and stuff. It was crazy. I loved every second of the 3 hours. Thank you. So, Washington, D.C. was a disaster because X1 would book the flights so fucking close that this is literally me at 3 p.m. still at the airport.
Okay, so we're in the airport in Washington. No, we're not in Washington. God, I have no idea where I am. We're still in Nashville, Philly. Oh my God, Jesus. We're in Philly and we're waiting to board our flight to DC. We got on the plane. It was hot as balls.
So they had fucked up the flight so much that we literally were still at the airport at like 3 p.m. We arrived in Washington and had to immediately go to the venue, which sucked because I didn't have time to get ready. The venue was a cinema, which was really interesting because there was no like lights on stage. It was literally just like a cinema. The crowd, however, were super nice to me, which was great.
Okay, so hi again. I'm back in DC. Give it up, everyone.
So DC was a fun show. Also, I loved these people that came in this all denim moment. Gorge. Oh my God, my favorite mucker of all time. Also, this mucker came and showed that they wrote their college dissertation on me and Colleen, which was crazy. I ended up reading that. Oh my God, their face card is crazy as well. And then here was me after the Washington, D.C. show. Washington, D.C. was the first show that I actually introduced playing the national anthem before I came out on stage. I don't know why I did that. I just started getting really bored midway through tour because obviously it was not great behind the scenes. So I loved playing around with the muckers. So I ended up adding the national anthem, I Love You, Jesus, and Karma by Jojo Siwa to be the songs that would play before I came out on stage. My friends Meg and Lucy came to this show, and then me, Meg, Lucy, and Mark ended up going out after the show. And Meg, who lives in DC, was like, I'm going to show you around DC. And I was like, I just want to see the White House. Like, I have such a fascination with the White House. Like, I always have. Which is so unfortunate that, like, Trump is making it so fucking ugly right now. So Meg brings us to the White House, and my craziest thing, I love telling this story, is she brings me to the White House and there's security, like what are they called? What's the security called? Like Trump's security. Secret Service. So Secret Service are outside the White House and they were fine as fuck. And I love this video where I go up and I'm like, he's like, I'm Secret Service and police. And I'm like, hey, wait. Hold on, wait. To the Secret Service. To the Secret fucking Service. Oh my god, I have some other videos I haven't seen here before. What are these other videos? Oh my god, what are these videos? I've never seen these videos before. Oh my god, what are these? I've never seen these videos before. Hold on, these are ones I've never seen before. This is at 3 a.m.
Beautiful. Okay. I just wanted to sing a little song for President Trump. We are outside the White House right now. I just want to look good for you, good for you. I just want to look good for you, good for you.
Not Meg and Lizzie sing along.
This dress good for you, good for you.
Meg and Lizzie fucking egging me the fuck. Wait, why is there another one? Is this
for President Trump? We are outside the...
I think this is the same one. Yeah, it's the same one. And then we have another one. Oh my god, it's a video of Mark. Oh my god, there's another video! You see Mark at the start.
Let's start with the chorus, right? Love. I'll do the chorus, yeah. Alright, ready? Yeah, love. President Trump, I have a song. I love you, Jesus. Jesus. Yes. Trump gives me reason. He gives me hope. Trump never let me go. I love you, Trump. I love you, Trump. You give me reason. You give me hope. President Trump never let me go.
Oh wait, I say fuck Trump at the end, by the way. That's so funny because you have to imagine there is 5 Secret Service guys watching us film this. Now, not only are they watching us film this, the Secret Service guys are watching me do this. Oh my god. Why am I'm like climbing on the gates and stuff? There's probably snipers on that roof. They probably were like, we'll let the gay boy off. Like, I'm literally climbing on the fence. I'm climbing on the fence. They could have shot me. Why am I grabbing my crotch? Oh my god. They literally could have fucking killed me over this. I'm like trespassing.
Let's go. Shake it for the video.
365 Trumpy girl. 365 Trumpy girl. Should we do a little key? Should we?
This is terrible. And then right after that, here's me, Meg, Lucy, and Mark outside of what I thought was the White House. So I was told, by the way, that this was the White House. So I sent this into my family group chats, all the rest. I wake up the next fucking day and all the comments are like, lol, this isn't the White House. This is the Treasury Museum. And you know what, bitch? Meg, fuck you. It was the Treasury Museum. I did all that and it wasn't even the White House. Now, in her defense, it is a white building and it is very close to the White House. But I did all that, post on social media. Not only the embarrassment of posting it, it wasn't even the goddamn fucking White House. So anyways, also, my favorite thing about the DC show was I ended up meeting this mucker who was so cute. And I kept making a joke that I was going to steal her boyfriend. And I literally was, she was like, get a photo with him then. And I went, bet. She was like, you won't steal him. And I went, bet. I'm going to do a solo shot with him. I look tea as fuck here. So anyways, that was DC. And then, so the next day I was actually supposed to leave DC, and fly to Boston. Mark flew to Boston and I was supposed to be on that flight. I woke up the next day way too hungover to get on a flight. So I was like, Mark, I'm going to buy my own flight. Like, you fuck off, go there. Like, I'll meet you there. Okay. So I ended up staying in DC an extra day, which was really great because I got to actually I went to a couple museums and then I actually got to go to the official White House. I went to the official White House, and by the way, I've been so deeply obsessed with the White House my entire fucking life, and it is such a beautiful building. Here's me outside the White House, incredibly hungover, but still I got to see the official one. It was insane. And what's even crazier is the Pope had just died and Trump flew over. So I got to see Trump leaving for the Pope's funeral. And then DC that night, I ended up going to the most bomb fucking pussy ass ramen place, and it was tea as fuck. Oh, it was so good. Wait, I'm literally gonna give Washington 10 out of fucking 10 because that food was tea as fuck. The White House was tea as fuck. I was shaking pussy. I was stealing Mucker's men. It was pussy as fuck. Also, I loved the Bill Clinton and Hillary Clinton sale section that was in all of the shops. So anyways, and then no way. Girl. Oh my God. I remember this. I went for ramen at 9 p.m. And then the only other thing I did that night at 12:30 at midnight was I went to fucking IHOP. I literally went for ramen at 9 p.m. and then merely hours later went for chicken and fucking waffles at IHOP. Oh, I remember because I had lost my voice and I had a show the next day, I think. So I went to IHOP for tea and I was keep doing refill of teas. And then she was like, "Do you want food, sweetheart?" And I went, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. I do, honey. So I got that. So Washington's getting a strong 10 out of 10 for me. 10 out of fucking 10. And so we move on to Boston. Now, Boston was one of those cities that I had wanted to go to the entire tour, right? I've always wanted to go to Boston. I really like the idea of Boston. I know there's Irish people there. And I was really excited to go there. My grando was really excited for me to go. So let's see what I got up to in Boston. Boston. What happened in Boston? Okay, so I arrived in Boston and I immediately went out for ramen and dumplings. They were good as tea. What else happened? Oh my God. I have a message from Grindr screenshotted where someone goes, wait, this is so funny. From Boston, this is in Boston, Grindr, someone messaged, "Hey cutie, love your channel." And I go, "Thank you." So the muckers were out there in Grindr, okay? Boston was filled with muckers. So anyways, what happened in Boston? I'm going through. Oh, I bought a jersey for the show. And I went to one of the sports shops and I was like, "Give me a player who's unproblematic so like the audience will not be pissed off." The day of the show, let's see what happened. I walked around a park. Actually, this is not the morning. This is an hour before I'm supposed to be at the venue. I went for a little park visit. What else happened? Oh, I reshot the intro. Oh, I reshot the intro video. Here's me on the way to the venue with my little tank top. Cute. And then the venue for Boston was fucking huge as piss. Here it is. Right? It was big as hell. And then, yeah, I reshot the intro video for Boston because of my top. So it was crazy. Now, I was just in a really bad mood this day because I had a huge fight with the CEO right before this, which is so funny. Look at that professional. Do you know that I was having fights with the fucking CEO right before this? Talk about a professional. So I was in a really fucking shitty ass mood for the Boston show, if I'm being completely honest. But my friends came to the show who live in Boston. These girls I met in Florence like 2 years ago, and we've just kept in touch, but they live in Boston, so I put them on guest list for the show, and they came, and it was, a lot of fun. Yeah, the show, honestly, I really wasn't in a good mood at all. What is this? I have some sort of... Well, I don't know what this is.
So next one, we're going to go on to Jeff Whitty.
God, it's crazy. Oh my God, I texted Jeff this video live on stage and he responded and it was like, "I love you guys." It's crazy for me watching these videos because I know what I was like dealing with that day and like after the show, but like, wow, you really couldn't tell by these videos. Maybe that's why it was so fucking exhausting. So yeah, the venue was super big.
Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is on the Chronically Online tour in Boston. Give us this day our daily tea, and forgive us for our clockings, as we forgive those who clock against us. And all the muckers say,
I just really wasn't in a good mood. I was really being put through the ringer, that show, behind the scenes, and it made me very sad. It just, yeah, it was not great. So, and then midway through the meet and greet, someone gave me like a crochet top that you're supposed to layer. I was really having like a manic moment, and I literally took off my clothes, put it on without a top underneath, and was like, this is now my meet and greet outfit. Literally the Labubus. I was like incredibly manic during this show. Like I was going through the motions of like working for the company that I was actively arguing with, and like no one is allowed to know. So I was like that Ariana one where she's like, fuck a fake smile. It was bleak. I'll fucking tell you that. It was not a good day. So honestly, I'm going to put Boston at maybe 3 out of 10, because it was just not a great experience for me, that one. And then we move on to Minneapolis. So Minneapolis is interesting. So this was a couple days after. Let's go to that. Oh, I went to Charlie XCX a couple times. So Minneapolis, the show was supposed to happen on a Tuesday, I think. And then listen to the Renee Rapp song about Boston. You know what song I keep thinking of? I started listening to it loads when oh wait, in Boston I went shopping a little bit and it was nice. I'll bump them up to like a 5 out of 10. The Tate McRae song where she's like, I still think about that night in Boston or something like that. I'm like, I still think back on that night in Boston where I was having a manic fucking episode at Uptown Theater. Minneapolis, the show was supposed to happen on like a Tuesday. Couple days before the show, the tour CEO calls me and goes, hey, and I'm like, hey bestie, so good to hear from you. He's like, oh my god, there's been a mistake. And I'm like, of course there's X1 doing a mistake. What X1 not being able to plan? What? Say it isn't so. So anyways, he was like, the venue of double booked. And I went, what? He went, the venue of double booked, so your show actually can't happen anymore. Meanwhile, the show is like 2 days away. And I go, what? He goes, yeah. And I'm like, what? I'm like, what the fuck do you mean? And he goes, but don't worry, before you freak out, we can move the show to like Monday, which is like the day before. And I was like, will we make it in time? And he goes, yeah, it's going to be really tight because you're flying in on that day because it was supposed to be an off day, but we'll make it work. He was like, if you agree, we'll do the show on a Monday. And I was like, well, it's better than canceling the show. And so we did it. We sent out the email to all of the customers. And on the day of what was going to be the show, we were supposed to fly from the airport, obviously, as you do. And every single flight was incredibly fucking delayed. So much so that we ended up being at the airport when the show was supposed to be happening. So the show ended up having to be canceled because of X1's inability to plan correctly. And I felt so bad because this is me at the airport, miserable as fuck. I was at the airport, I think, for like 14 hours. Here's me, miserable as fuck. I was just having a meltdown at the airport, screaming at everyone, as you can imagine, because literally the muckers are like queuing up and I'm not even in the fucking city yet. I felt so bad. Look, like all of the muckers are outside the fucking venue when the show is supposed to be fucking happening, and I'm not even in fucking Minneapolis. Literally, I've screenshotted every single story from this day where people are like outside the venue because I felt so bad. So I'm fucking like, this one broke my fucking heart on our way to the Chronically Online tour and tagging me. So anyways, I go into the bathroom of, what airport was it? LaGuardia. And I like get a bunch of tissues because I can feel that I'm gonna cry. I go and sit literally by, where was it? It was, oh my god, it was some fucking like I Heart New York store. I sit on the ground outside it. I call my mom and I literally just start bawl crying. And then I start getting angry. And then I start manically pacing the airport. Then I'm calling the CEO, screaming at the CEO. I'm fucking furious. I'm angry. I'm now manic. So I'm at the airport. The show is in 2 hours and it's not going to happen. So I literally go into the bathroom and cry for about an hour and then come out and Mark's like, girl, what are we going to do? And I'm like, so anyways, I end up getting into Minneapolis that night and I've had so we get into Minneapolis at 11:13 and then I go to the hotel and I get myself ready because I'm like, fuck this shit. I'm going out tonight because X1 were making me so fucking miserable that I literally just turned to, I'm going to party, I'm going to party, I'm going to party. And party I did. So I went out to like the bar called the Saloon. And as you can tell, I'm fucking miserable. I'm putting shit like this on my story, drunk at the bar. This is a story that I posted at bar and just want to say that we got into Minneapolis at 11 p.m. Again, I'm so fucking sorry for everyone who made travel arrangements to come to the show tonight. I really cannot truly stress how sorry I am. If I went to a show when this happened, I would be so fucking angry and you have every right to be angry at me. I can't tell you how it was a venue mishap with dates and my travel conflicting it. It still doesn't matter though. I hope to see as many of you as possible if I do a meetup tomorrow. So I posted this and then I also posted another one as well. I'm going to try bring as much merch to the meetup tomorrow. So if you were coming to the show, please come. If you didn't even have tickets, just come. I'll give you merch. I really want to make this right. I'm so sorry. This has nothing to do with me, but I'm truly fucking miserable over the fact that people traveled and I had no say in it. And so obviously I was at the bar organizing a meetup for the next day. So if anyone had any tickets or even if they didn't have tickets, they could come and meet me. And I would basically like any merch that I had in my suitcase, I would give it out to everyone. So I did the meetup the next day at the like Museum of Arts or something like that. And so many fucking people showed up. Here we go. I love this photo so much. So this was the meetup. This was like midway through. So people had like already laughed at this stage and I'd already met people. And the museum staff come out and they're like, are you Adam? And I'm like, fuck, they're going to like arrest me TanaCon style. And they go, we saw your post. We're so sorry this happened to you. We're going to start giving out free drink tokens to all of the people here. Thank you so much for bringing people to the museum. Also, you can do the meetup inside if you want AC. And I'm like, kindness, correct planning, caring about the muckers. Do you want to go on tour with me? So I had a much better experience meeting the muckers in Minneapolis at a free fucking meetup than I did any show where you bitches were paying $150 fucking dollars and I saw none of it. Love this person who came to the meetup wearing me and Jeffree Star drag. And she was like, I'm so glad you did the meetup because I can only really wear this shirt today. I also have like right over here. Hold on, wait. Let me show this. These are things from Minneapolis. Minneapolis was a very, very, very special show because obviously I felt so bad. I was given this at the Minneapolis meetup. So incredible. Some other things I was given include... Or this was Boston, actually. Love it. Little Labubu with Sally saying much love from Boston. I've kept every single thing everyone gave me. I ended up getting 2 extra suitcases. Someone did my glasses, my diva, and my hot sauce. Love. Loved this. I think this Rory was this person. Where's the other one? Should be here somewhere. Oh, here it is. Rory did Bonnie Dolly. Milo Tyler. Loved this one from Blake. Loved this. I got a lot at the Minneapolis meetup. These are just some other things as well. Cute. I love this one so much. I'm going to frame this one as well. So yeah, I got a lot at that meetup. Ooh, oh my God, the wind's blowing. The wind's blowing. The wind's blowing. So the meetup was super successful. We were there like all fucking day. And then I basically said if anyone was over 21, come to the bar right after. Oh, also loved this. Someone showed me at the Minneapolis meetup. just an incredible day. And then anyone who was over 21, I said, let's go to the bar and let's continue this kiki. And they did. But before that, I ended up going to the venue, the House of Comedy, which is where my show. So this is the Tuesday night. My show was supposed to be this night, but obviously they were double booked. So I went to the venue at 7 p.m., which is when we would have been loading in. And to not my surprise, the venue was completely closed and shut down and not a being in sight. And you can't get a more comically closed image of the venue than this one right here. So the venue actually was completely shut on Tuesday, and I was completely lied to. And I ended up asking the security what was going on, and they said that there was no one coming and going from the building all day. So actually, I was at the venue the day the show was supposed to be happening, and I went. I was completely lied to. And I text the tour CEO these photos, and I say, explain this, and he ghosts me. He fucking ghosts me. Nice. I've spent my entire fucking day now doing a meetup for the Muckers, which was fun, but, you know, my entire fucking day that I'm now overcompensating for your fucking bullshit, and I'm proving that you and the venue are lying, and then you have the fucking audacity to ghost me. Fuck you. So anyways, I'm pissed off. Then I get angry. And then there were some very, very, very angry phone calls made. So I cannot stress enough just like how much arguing was going on during this fucking tour. So here's me and the Muckers at the bar. It was so much fun. Truly so much fun. This was my favorite day of tour. And I think it's because X1's sloppy ass had no involvement in it. Loved. So cute. So Minneapolis is getting 100 out of 10. Minneapolis is getting fucking 100 out of 10. That was the greatest day of tour for me because it was the day that I got to really fucking connect with the Muckers, and they didn't have to pay $150 that were just going to X1's fucking lining pocket. Love. So anyways, we move and we now go to Detroit. I woke up this is me the day after drinking with the Muckers. We literally stayed up drinking until the bar closed. Obviously I was very hungover. So Detroit, I got in and I just immediately went to sleep. This is me right before the Detroit show. I wore this outfit that I was actually gifted. I love this top. And I'd woken up super refreshed because I had just slept the entire day, which was super fun. I get to the venue and these divas had made me these crocheted Bonnie, Dolly, and Sally's, and I literally still have them in my kitchen today. I love them so much, and I actually had them on stage from then on out. The venue for Detroit, the staff fucking loved me, and here is the Detroit show. It happened really quickly to me. I think some of the shows I really have forgotten about. So much drama happened at so many of the shows that when things wouldn't happen, I just kind of forgot about them. Yeah, look, I literally have this photo from like a couple days ago of the crochet Bonnie and Dollies. I fucking love them. And then the little Sally as well. Thank you so much. It's literally my favorite thing in the entire fucking world. So Detroit, did I do anything in Detroit? Okay, Detroit, I don't remember much about the city because I didn't get to see it. But the show was great. The venue staff were great. So I'm going to give Detroit a 5 out of 10 just for the moment. And then we go on to Chicago again. We did a second show in Chicago, and pretty much the same venue. The VIP was fun. Here's me going on stage in Chicago. Here we go. This was actually the first show in a while where I hadn't had an argument with anyone before I went out on stage. So as you can see, I was thrilled about not having an argument with anyone. This was probably the loudest and most interacted crowd I had. Like everyone was like, it was so loud that I kept losing my place, and people kept throwing me off. I had lost my voice there, so my voice kept going out, which was super embarrassing. My friends ended up coming to the show as well, which was great to see. And then I ended up writing on the wall of the venue. Adam McIntyre and the Muckers were here twice, February 19th and May 8th. Really good venue. And the Muckers were really pretty at the venue as well. So, yes, that was Chicago. And honestly, it was pretty much... Oh, wait, actually, because the crowd were probably the most engaged, I'm going to give Chicago Night 2 a 10 out of 10 because I gave Chicago Night 1 a bad rating. And then we had a little bit of a 10-day break. So within that 10-day break, I went back to London to see family and friends. And I also got to see the cancelled live show, Tana Mojo and Brooke Schofield and Paige. I got to see their show. And then I went straight from London. This is the first time I ever did this the entire tour. I actually booked myself longer in the city because obviously, you know, X1 are only paying for you to like, you know, be there for like the day of the show. I really wanted to go to Orlando. I wanted to do Epcot, Drink Around the World. I wanted to go to Disney World. I wanted to do all these things. I've always wanted to go to Florida. It's always been a dream of mine. So I, on the 12th, flew to Orlando, which was like a week before the show. And I basically spent a week at like the Grande Lakes, like Ritz Hotel. And it was super fun. I basically just spent the entire time by the pool, eating nachos. It was tea as fuck. Here was my view like that entire week. And I was like, oh my God, I love Orlando. I got to see so many little lizards. I fucking loved Orlando so much. I went to Epcot and did Drink Around the World. I actually have an entire video of that. I wonder if it's on my YouTube. Oh, it isn't on my YouTube channel. Is it on my YouTube channel? Hold on. Let me see my Drink Around the World.
Abandonment so many times, especially on an abrupt level, it's really hard not to become apathetic or pessimistic.
The world.
And so, I don't know.
Where is she? Okay, here it is. I haven't watched this video. I literally just posted it. So
and
here's
then
me drinking
I
the
go
world.
the way she told me to, and I go up to a cast member, and I'm like, hey, baby, where's Mexico? And they're like, this is the complete opposite way as the way of tequila, because I did think that these were going to be quite watered down.
That was tea as fuck.
God, give it up for day drinking, everyone.
I do this a lot in the video where I'm like, give it up for whatever, because I was actually just going to play this video at the Orlando show and not put it on YouTube, but it ended up being too long. So now I'm just randomly in the video like, give it up, everyone. Let me hear you.
Right now, or wherever you are. Let's repeat after me. Ni hao, muckers. Let's pretend we're all here together, okay? 1, 2, 3.
Like, it's so funny now that you know that, because obviously it just doesn't make sense.
Perfect.
Wait, I love this part of the video.
I'm starting to feel a little bit tipsy. Maybe
My
we're
red
only
hair
at
is
the halfway
crazy.
point. Oh. Something's happening. Oh, okay. Okay, Jesus.
He kept coming at me.
Oh no, he's coming right at me. Oh God. Oh no, I'm at barrier. Oh my fucking God, I'm literally... Jesus, why did I sit down here? Oh my God, I'm literally in the barrier.
I said I finna be in the pit.
Why did I choose to sit down here? I'm like right in the fucking pit. I said I finna be in the pit of the Italy performance.
I'm gonna just drink my
Prosecco.
Prosecco.
Shit, but what is going on here?
So anyways, I did Drink Around the World. Orlando honestly was a 10 out of 10 for me. It was so much fun. I ended up doing a meet and greet, an impromptu meet and greet with the Muckers as well, which was super successful. It was a really small group because I posted about it like 5 hours before it happened, or maybe even 2 hours before it happened. The Muckers were so sweet in Orlando. I ended up, we all went to the Rainforest Cafe, my first ever time going, and I paid for, I think I got everyone's food. I ordered a lot of food for us. And then the next day was the Orlando show. Here we go. I actually had a huge meltdown the night before this because I always wanted to go to the Pulse Memorial, and as you can see, here is me at the Pulse Memorial. Now, I had the biggest fucking meltdown the night before the Orlando show. I have like manic text to Mark. Hold on, Okay, so here's a screenshot of a message that I sent Neve. Without sounding dark, it's crazy because every time I enter a gay bar in America, I try to find an easy way out because I keep thinking of the Orlando Pulse shooting and I can't believe that I'm actually here. And then I started posting some crazy fucking like depressing shit on my story, and then I ended up going to the memorial And I was literally just fucking walking around the memorial, sob fucking crying, like at like I don't even know what time this is. Probably like 3 or 4 or 5 in the morning. I mean, it was a beautiful memorial, but I was it really was not something that I needed to be seeing or doing in my mental state at that stage. Anyways, this was really not something that was, maybe needed. Here's me like.
This was always something I wanted to do. Whenever I saw Orlando on the tour dates, but I could never imagine it.
Oof, can't even watch that. And then I ended up like manically texting Mark, texting my mom, being like, oh my God, like the Christina Grimmie shooting was in Orlando too. Like, you guys like haven't been having like good security, if any security at my Leg 2 shows. Like, I'm going to get killed tomorrow. Like, I was just really, really, really manic. And so the day I woke up for the Orlando show, it was so weird because it was the first moment where I realized that like I really do think that the tour, for the first time in my life, gave me levels of fucking like depression and anxiety that like I've never fucking felt in my entire life. And I think anyone in my close circle could back me up in that. And it was confirmed to me in Orlando when I spent a week in Orlando and I was so fucking carefree, happy, working on YouTube, doing all this. And then the day before my fucking show, I'm manic, I'm crying, I'm spiraling, I'm upset. I'm having to get my mom to like talk me off the fucking ledge. And I was like, oh, this tour is stressing me out and killing me in ways that like I can't even fathom. So the day of the Orlando show, I was an absolute fucking mess. And looking at these photos where I'm like giggly and stuff, I'm like, damn, I really just put on a fucking front for everyone. God, this was such a miserable experience. I hate to keep fucking complaining, but my God. Mark did try to cheer me up by getting everyone outside to like hype me up, and he showed me this in the dressing room. So he was always doing things to try and make me feel better. I also love this video because at the start of it, there's a literal fucking child. Mark knew that I was really not wanting to do the show that night because I was just in a really bad mental space. And so he went out and did this and then was like, look, like these people are really excited to see you. And it was a very sweet thing to kind of like hype me up. So anyways, thank you, Mark, for that. Yeah, the Orlando show was fine. I think I was at my breaking point in Orlando where I wanted to be out of the contract. I was incredibly miserable, and Orlando was the first show where I walked off stage, and I think Mark has a video of me walking off stage, and I'm about to like fully like almost like break character in a way, but then I see he's recording me. I guess you can kind of see me do it. Orlando, I walked off stage and I sat in the dressing room and we're supposed to start the meet and greet like right after. And I said to Mark, I was like, I need to get out of this contract. And he was like, why? And I'm like, I'm fighting every day with you people, not Mark. Like, you're exploiting my audience. I'm literally having to lie to my audience on your behalf. And like, I just feel fucking miserable. And you can really see it in this video, like the switch. But Orlando was really my breaking point. Here you can see me kind of walk off stage and kind of like break the character in a sense, because I didn't want to ruin anyone's expectations even, you know what I mean? I would literally just walk off stage. I would do all that and I would walk off stage and I would go, oh. And it had nothing to do with any of you. It was like, I felt like I was like X1's little puppet. And I hated it so much. I would literally walk off stage and go, oh. And then this was me right after the show. I ended up fucking going out and smoking a damn fucking cigarette in the alley of the venue. I was so fucking upset this day that I think someone during the meet and greet like smelled like cigarettes, and I was like, Mucker, give me one. And literally I go out in the alley of like outside the venue. And then like, so, I mean, that was a low point. But a good thing was Adam Crave, came to the show. Love her. Her and her sister came, which was great. That was definitely a pick-me-up. But I'm sure I was a bundle of joy to talk to backstage for them. Yeah, literally just like a child at the show. I know that's someone who couldn't get a babysitter for the night. So Orlando, Orlando up until I do the show, 10 out of 10. Orlando when I do the show, 1 out of 10. But I had so much fun in Orlando. Aside from it, you know what I mean? So we are almost done. We go to Houston. I'm going to be honest. Houston, I get in and I go to this Mexican place and it was tea as fuck. I'm going to be honest. I love the is it refried beans that you do in America? We don't do that shit here because that's like gross as fuck. The refried beans of it all. That shit is yummy. I did that before the show. And then, what else did I do? Oh, Houston was weird as fuck. So, first of all, there's like nothing to do in Houston, at least when the area I was staying in. I had to walk like 15 minutes to the nearest fucking shop to buy like a drink for the fucking show because the venue were so strict on you're like not allowed. They had a bar outside the venue. Like you had to leave the venue to go to the bar. So everyone was stone cold sober. The crowd were, you know, a little bit more low energy than normal. And I had to, because the venue weren't going to allow me to drink. They didn't allow me to drink. I was like, before I went to the show, before I went to the venue, I went to like the nearest corner shop and got like fucking buzz balls. And I remember Mark was like, Adam, like you can't drink on stage at this show. Like the venue are going to like kick us out. So I was like, can you go and get me a tea, please? And he was like, what? So he went and got me a tea and I was like, my voice is sore. Mark goes and gets me a mug with tea in it. And I go, thank you, Mark. And Mark watches as I pour it down the sink, open a buzz ball, and put it in the fucking thing. So if you were at the Houston show, I was drinking out of a mug the entire fucking show. That was a buzz ball. I literally went on stage and I was like, oh, this tea is so hot. It was a fucking buzz ball in there. I was like, fuck this shit. I'm going to be drinking a fucking buzz ball. So I did the show. The crowd, I'm going to be honest, if you were at the show, y'all, you know, y'all could have given more. The venue was so big and we hadn't sold that well, obviously what I said about second leg. So everyone went in and they were supposed to sit kind of all together to kind of make it not look as empty, but they all decided to sit like all around. So I came out and I was like looking between every person and it was awkward as fuck. I didn't love Houston. I'm going to give Houston a chopped, if I'm being honest. Houston's going to get maybe like a 2 out of 10, maybe a 1 out of 10. Actually, probably a 1 out of 10. And then we go to Atlanta, which was the next day. God, these were back to back. So Atlanta, at 5. So I'm supposed to be at the venue at 6 p.m. Here's me at the hotel bar at 5:30, getting a glass of Pinot Grigio, living it up, obviously. I got to meet Junkie, who I love. Junkie Sama came to the show. The venue was super cute, probably one of my favorite venues. And because obviously muckers weren't buying tickets because of the X1 fees, I ended up the day of the show just putting everyone on the guest list because I'm like, damn, if I would rather do the show for the muckers, this isn't about X1. So fucking sold it out with guest list because obviously I'm not making any money through these people anyway, so I would rather muckers be there. And I was really happy during that show, actually. I was really, really, really happy during the Atlanta show because it was a room of muckers and it was great. It was fucking great. So when I took matters in my own fucking hands, then it got good. And then after Atlanta, me and Mark ended up going to... Oh, also, X1 had spelt my name wrong on the marquee. I ended up having to get Mark to fix it. So this is it when it's fixed. But for the entire show, if anyone has any photos, it was like introducing Adam. Literally, they fucked up like the last 4 letters. And I was like, damn, this really sums up this company, doesn't it? I don't know if that was the venue or them or whatever, but I was like, what the hell, sure. So anyways, Atlanta after the show, I don't know what day of the week it was, but I was all to Mark. I was like, I'm going to go to a rave. I was like, everyone at the meet and greet was recommending me this specific rave that was like 30 minutes away. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to go. So I went to the rave. Because we would get into the cities only at like evening, nighttime, the only time I could experience a city was after the show. And what's open? Clubs and raves. So me and Mark ended up Ubering 30 minutes to this rave. And it was a day of the week. And oh my God, it was hundreds of people. The most fun night out I've ever had in my entire life. The only location it's showing for me is Underground Atlanta. I don't know who this is. I don't know who this queen is, but I guess we were queening out. This is at 4:32 in the morning, the day after the show, and it was the most fun night out I've ever had, I think, in my entire fucking life. So Atlanta is honestly it's literally called Underground. Oh my God. The things I would do to go back to Underground. The things I would do to go to Underground again. It was the greatest night out of my entire life. So I would go back there in an instant. So anyways, Atlanta for the show, 10 out of 10. Atlanta for after the show, 10 out of 10. Loved it. So then we go on and we had a week off and then we did Phoenix. And now in the in-between of this, I had a huge meltdown. And this is where those infamous videos of me crying are. I had a huge meltdown about wanting to just cancel the tour, that my mom was like, just come home. So I did go home after that. But before that, I did go and see Beyonce in New Jersey, which I loved. Here's me and Beyonce. Me and B. So love it. Went and saw Beyonce and then went home. God, some of these crying pictures are crazy. And so anyways, we get to Phoenix. What happened in Phoenix? Let me see. Phoenix was dry AF. It was hot as fuck. We got into Phoenix at 2 p.m. And then my fit for the show was a Beyonce merch top because I had just been and seen Beyonce. Actually, I saw Beyonce the night before this. I went straight from the Beyonce concert to the airport and then went and did the show. Phoenix, I loved because it was a venue that Colleen actually performed in, so I got to make that as an opening joke, which was a lot of fun. I got this Labubu at the show with an I Heart Muckers, which lies on my bed right now, and it's my favorite gift I've ever gotten in my entire life. The show was... I'm trying to remember the show. The show was a lot of fun, but I really remember... and I'll never forget, this is like the main moment I talk about, which just sums up X1. I got to read a really nasty thing that the tour CEO had written about me putting Muckers on the guest list merely seconds before I went out on stage. And the intro is me running in, dancing or whatever. I read what he was saying about me merely seconds before it was like 365 party girl. And then I have to go out on stage. And I remember walking out of the dressing room 10 seconds before I go out on stage. And I literally just, I hear my cue, and I go, fuck these people about X1. Not the Muckers, about X1. I literally go, fuck these people out loud, and then I run out and do like, yippee, yippee. And then I do that show. However, for the entire show, I was like so fucking pissed off because of what I had read. So anyways, this is me after the show. Whatever. So Phoenix, did I go out after Phoenix? No, I did go out, of course. I went to this like karaoke bar at 1 a.m. Hold on, wait. Yes. And then, wait, hold on. Oh my god. And then I ended up going to a club, which was really fun, but everyone was like fucking on the dance floor. It was really fucking weird. So Phoenix, honestly, the venue staff, oh my god, the venue staff were muckers as well. The girl comes into my dressing room and she's like, I'm working right now, so I can't say this, so I'm a mucker. And I ended up telling her about how much I hated X1. And then she like brought all the staff in and she was like, oh my god, you need to hear this. She was like, you're making $0 doing this show? And I'm like, yep. And then after Phoenix, the Vegas show got canceled because of tickets. So instead, I went to LA because it was LA Pride. And I ended up running into Eleanor Neal, who I'm friends with in Brighton. She was there for like a Netflix event or something. We went out in WeHo. I ended up meeting one of my oomfies as well at LA Pride. Went out, went to Sir, obviously, went out clubbing. And then the next day, me and my friend Elizabeth, which was actual LA Pride, went to Sir for the filming of Vanderpump. And we saw them filming. They sat us the table over from when they were filming the new show for Vanderpump so they could have us in the like background of the clips. Lisa looking ridiculous as fucking always. And then they ended up getting me to film as well. They got me like standing up on the, or like sitting on the thing. My body looked tea there. That was a lot of fun. And then I ran into Disco Debbie, who I love more than anything in the entire world. Disco Debbie, you saved my life. Love her. LA Pride was so much fun. And then I ended up going clubbing with the Sir workers because she made me take this photo where she has a Sir tattoo. Love. And then Kat arrived because Kat was actually on tour with Matt Bernstein doing the A Little Bit Fruity tour, which was also an X1 tour. And so Kat got into LA at like, she got in at 1 a.m. to her hotel, and she was doing a show in LA the next day, and I was doing a show in San Diego the next day. So I persuaded Kat to come out on the WeHo Strip. She did. We recreated our photo that we took in 2021. We went out clubbing. Oh, I've got really cute. Oh, look at this cute photo of Kat and Mark. Really cute. We all went out. And then the next, oh yeah, I was like, I posted this main fucking story, by the way. Girl, I'm so over this tour at this stage. I'm frolicking the streets in LA. San Diego tomorrow, and then I'm almost done touring. Like, I mean, I wasn't making it, you know, clear that I was having a fucking awful fucking time. So then the next day I wake up and it was the second last show. So, or wait, did I rank Phoenix? Phoenix, you'll get a 6 out of 10. What the hell? Sure. So Vegas, no. And then I went to LA, and then the day of the San Diego show, this, from my knowledge, this was the second last show. Little did I know this would become the official end of the Chronically Online tour. Thank God, Loki. So anyways, I wake up and I go to the airport, and I actually didn't go to bed. I stayed up all night, and then I just went straight to the airport so that I would be on time, and then I was going to sleep in the hotel, wake up and do the show. Whatever. You get the point. So I go to the airport, I'm on time, and LAX are actually down, like their systems are down, so no one can check in, flights are getting pushed back, whatever, and I'm trying to get in contact with everyone as to, like, how am I going to make it to San Diego, and I was just getting no response, so ultimately I had to get an Uber, which was like $644 to make it in time to the San Diego show. I ended up just sleeping in that Uber, though, every silver lining, and then I get to San Diego for the day of the show, so again, this is now the last show of the tour. Here's me looking radiant as always in San Diego. So, San Diego show, I practically got into the hotel after my long-ass Uber and just slept. And this was the most chill fucking show of all time. I didn't drink at all. I actually had a fucking lemon water on stage. And it was the quickest show I ever did. I sped ran that shit. And it was just very, very, very chill. The audience were nice and chill. It was great. And I actually was saying on there, I was like, oh my God, this kind of feels like the last show because the San Francisco show was a month after this. So I was like, oh my God, this kind of feels like the last show, you know, in a way. Little did I know it actually was going to be. But here's me, you know, coming out on stage for San Diego. Definitely a more chill walkout. It was a really fun show, though. It honestly was fun. The audience were great. The venue staff loved. I was just very mellow and very chill that entire show. And then ultimately, San Fran got canceled by X1 because they said that my mom was bullying them because we asked for transparency around why they were exploiting the fuck out of my audience. And that's that. So that's all of the cities, honestly. As you can see, or San Diego, you know what? I'm going to give you a 10 out of 10 because it was a lovely little ending. So first leg went well, and then things really just went on the shitter leg 2. And also, I think it's really important to note that since I talked about X1, first episode of the podcast, I have not heard a single thing from X1. I've not heard a single thing. Not from the CEO who would be up my fucking pussy every day, or like whatever. Like, just no accountability, no response, running from it. Like, it's sick. Like, go on and promote your other tours. Enjoy it, you know. Other people are also saying these things about them. Literally, these other people that they toured are in my DMs. I literally had another person who I have very different fucking beliefs from message me, say, hey, I just canceled my tour with them. Can we get on a call to talk about them and share experiences? I go, yeah. I had another 2 girls who did like 2 shows with them, or maybe 1 LA show, being like, can we send you screen? Like, literally, like, I don't. So, but anyways, we will leave it there with the ranking of the cities. If anyone came to any of the shows, thank you, because you were the reason that I was able to pull through from it. Thank God I'm out of that contract. Thank Mother Christ I'm out of that contract. I really appreciate all of the muckers that showed up for me. And yeah, but thank God that's over. Woo!